What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2. We are in this temperate map because today we are going to be building our Europe park. That means dinosaurs that were discovered in Europe, that lived in Europe, will be in this park. So I think we only got about 16 species, so it won't be as big as the North America park, but it will definitely be larger than the South America park. We don't have any guests just yet, so let's go ahead and get an emergency shelter for over here, plus a bathroom and a hotel. So let me pull out the list of species that lived in Europe. So we have a total of 16. Edinburghosaurus, Baryonyx, Compsognathus, Concavenator, Ichthyosaurus, Iguanodon, Liopleurodon, Lystrosaurus, Megalosaurus, Metracanthosaurus, Mosasaurus, Nothosaurus, Plesiosaurus, Polacanthus, Proceratosaurus, and Pyroraptor. So it doesn't look like we have too many herbivores. We've got Iguanodon and Polacanthus, but that's about it, and maybe Lystrosaurus. Alright, so let's get a viewing gallery. We'll put it here, just so we have it. And then maybe put some forest in right off the bat, just so they have some space and whatever, some privacy. Put some water in, and then we'll put the hatchery in. We'll put one of these hatcheries in here. There we go. And then we'll throw Iguanodon, Polacanthus, and Lystrosaurus in here. I'm going to go with the Dominion Iguanodons, because I like them more. I prefer the Dominion Iguanodon design over the Evolution Iguanodon. They just look better to me. I mean, the Evolution ones are cool in their own way, but the Dominion ones just look way better. Alright, Lystrosaurus is up next. Actually, I have a cool idea for a Battle Royale video, or a Battle Royale series. Continent-based series, where you just have, like, the creatures from different continents going up against each other. So, like, we have a North America Battle Royale, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, you know, all that. There we go. That should be easy enough. And let's go ahead and put in a viewing dome over here. And then, how about over here, too? Let's get one over here as well. Alright. That should be good. Let's release the Lystros first. Look at how cute they are when they run. That's so cute. They're some of the most adorable creatures in the game, without a doubt. Let's move on to Iguanodon. Something a little bit larger. And that'll be basically the herbivores done. And finally, Polacanthus. Okay. So for our next enclosure, we're going to put in some carnivores. I'm thinking about putting one on the other side over here. Just some medium-sized carnivores, nothing too big. Maybe for here we could add in, like, Baryonyx. This could be like the Piscivore enclosure. And then, of course, we'll continue along this park and make it as cool looking as possible. I don't think we have any pterosaurs, though we do have aquatics in here. So that's going to be interesting. What was I doing? Hatchery. Let's get the hatchery out. Now, for the Baryonyxes, we want this to be a bit swampy, because they lived in like basically a semi-aquatic environment. I have an idea. Maybe like a stream of water. There we go. And then they can have their piscivore feeders. One over here. One in the middle. And then one over here. There we go. It looks like they have a river, you know? That's what it kind of looks like. And then if we want to make it a bit more swampy, we can add some shrubbery. Alright, let's get Baryonyx out. So that'll be Baryonyx done. It's the only Spinosaur on this list that came from a continent other than Africa. You know, because the other two came from Africa. This guy came from Europe. That's the thing with the Spinosaurs. They either come from Africa or Europe. Just like with the Tyrannosaurs, they either come from North America or Asia. Alright, so what we'll do, after we complete the Europe park, we'll move on to Asia. And then I'm thinking, since Africa, Australia, and Antarctica are so scarce, I figured we could put Africa, Australia, and Antarctica in the same park. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, Baryonyx. Let's see if we got any movie skins. No. We got a Grim, a Chaos, and that's it. Alright. The 5 Baryonyxes are being added in. In the meantime, what we could do is throw in some viewing domes. There we go. That's cool. Alright. Baryonyx. Let's go. Alright, so far we're a quarter of the way there when it comes to species. So, as for the rest of the species, we've got a few aquatics. I think Ichthyosaurus, Mosasaurus, and Liopleurodon are a part of it. Oh, and Nothosaurus. So what we could do is have Mosasaurus and Nothosaurus be like... Or, no. That would be a bad idea. They'll all be in separate enclosures. For compies, I'm thinking about just having a small enclosure that's just them. Yeah, we could have like a small enclosure that maybe connects to here, goes all the way around over here, just so they have enough space to wander around, do their thing. We'll have like a big patch of forest over here. There we go, that's the compies being added in. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's get... viewing gallery over here, as well as maybe a couple of viewing domes. Alright, we got that going. Let's add all 10 of them in, and then we can expand the park even further by having an aquatic section. Maybe if you like go over here, around over to here, this could be the aquatic section. Alright, we'll add some of the smaller aquatics maybe over on this side, and then the larger ones could, like, go on the other side. This could be where the Nothosaurs would live. So let's go ahead and get a viewing stand for them. Well, maybe a lagoon hatchery as well. This will be the Nothosaurus enclosure. This will probably be a two-parter. We don't really have that many creatures, but, like, still... it's enough to warrant 2 parts. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright. Nothosaurus being added in. That'll be that section. And in the meantime, we could add maybe the Ichthyosaurs on the other side. And then if you go a little deeper, you get larger aquatics. Yeah, so this could be the Ichthyosaur enclosure. Let's release the Nothosaurs first. And then in the meantime, let's check on the Compsognathus. They should be ready. Alright, Compsognathus is being added in. Alright. Compsognathus has plenty of room to run around, which is awesome. Alright, Nothosaurus is ready, so we'll release them. There we go. We got Nothosaurus, and now we can move this over to here. And then add in the Ichthyosaurs. Alright, Ichthyosaurus. Hold on. Before we do that, we need to give these guys some marine fish feeders. Ichthyosaurus is being added in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 species. Let's add in 1 more so we can have 8 one episode, 1 and 8 the next episode. Let's start with another land creature. So let's have What about Concavinator? We'll have Concavinator be added in. So Concavinator is another relatively small carnivore. So we'll just have them over here. And then this little area could be like amenities and stuff like that. And then over here is where the Concavinators are going to live. And then that'll be our last creature for today. And then we'll add in the other 8 when we come back, which will be on Monday. Or should I do it on Wednesday? Because I'm alternating between this series and another series on Biosyn where I'm doing like experiments to see how long the dinosaurs would survive for. And there's still room for action in that one. So we'll see what happens. There could be a continuation of that. So we might alternate between this and the Biosyn one. All right. Let's release our 2 Concavinators. And then that should be all set to go. I like the design of the Concavinators. They do look cool, I will admit. Alright, so this is how the Europe Park is coming along so far. Looking really nice, if I do say so myself. But yeah, with that, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.